Agitate, educate, liberate, a call to organize and act. We the people too often elect the same tired, old, affluent interest to represent us. The contract, as lazy as it may be on our part, is take a little grift, handle the big stuff, tell us again in 2 or 4 years why we need you. We buy shit and work. Oversimplified? Yes. However, we have bigger problems at the moment than how we got here. The problem is we are here at this point in time and space in a democratic republic that we, the people, have neglected for far too long. Now, our nation is experiencing a coup. An unelected, billionaire foreign agent has seized control of multiple government agencies, classified systems, and citizen data, without appropriate legal authority or security clearance to do so. Billionaire Felon 47 condones and encourages this and creates chaos as cover. Are you watching Gaza developments, or is your eye on the ball at home? Point is, it's time to wake the fuck up. Elon Musk and Donald Trump are taking a wrecking ball to our institutions, our rule of law, and the Constitution. There is nothing left to do but to do something. Rise and shine. There is anxiety, there is fear, there is worry. These are normal human emotions. Do not let the enemies use these to divide you from the support of the people. We are many, they are few. If you succumb to fear and anxiety, they will divide you from us. The fascists already have many in their grip of their spell. You know them as MAGA, but even now, that spell weakens with each harsh terrorist action by this cabal of billionaires. Turns out, poor white people need their safety nets too. The reality is that everyone opposed to this and able to can do something. The needs are great, but when we unite our passion, our diverse talents, and our collective will as the people, we can overcome this. We are not perfect. We must act now to keep the opportunity to make the change we want in the future. But what is happening to stop it? There are many moving parts in this complex situation. Everyone has a part to do. Here is a brief summary. Congress is working under the rule of law. Sort of. This is important. Call, email, or visit your elected officials at least daily. Tag them on socials and comment on their content. Politely, firmly express your dissatisfaction to your representatives. Let them know you are watching. If you're in a red state, your Republican reps are complicit with this coup. Express your displeasure often. Make them feel the pressure. We only need a handful to break ranks and end this. Find courage for your representatives. The 5 Calls app makes it easy to pressure your reps. 5 calls, 5 minutes, 5calls.org. The number 5, CALLS.org. 5calls.org. Keep pressure on Democratic reps as well, lest they sell out to the fascist. It is a money and power game. They have money and power. Some Democrats are deciding whether to bet on us or on the billionaires. Many are with us. Many are watching them. Keep the pressure on. Help them find their courage. Please also keep in mind that the minority in Congress is out of power, but not completely powerless. They are speaking and acting. They are strategically organizing and using what levers of power they have. Be patient. It can be frustrating waiting. Our founding fathers tied power in a knot and handed it to the future. And never has there been a better time to let that knot work. Be patient. Prepare. Organizations, agencies, and media. Learn more and support Indivisible at indivisible.org. We fight on together. This is an all-hands-on-deck situation. Unions, nonprofit organizations, industry associations, and independent media are all organizing and pursuing what legal options they have. The FBI is resisting and openly at odds with the DOJ. Lawsuits have been filed. So far, the courts are holding up to their constitutional responsibilities. We are watching. Follow and support Alt National Park Service at Alt NPS across social media. Started as National Parks Resistance to protect our parks. Now a coalition of employees across the federal workforce. This is the last line of defense in the bureaucracy, the agents, the rangers, the wonks, and nerds of government who actually do the people's work and make government. Salute them. Media. Know thy enemy and know yourself. In 100 battles you will never be defeated. Sun Tzu, Art of War. Follow independent media. The legacy media has essentially capitulated to the fascist. Doesn't mean there isn't useful information coming from those channels. It simply is filtered through billionaire interest first. News media is best consumed in a large variety, with the majority being independent outlets to avoid a stagnant perspective. Here are 3 great places to get started. DC Media Group, dcmediagroup.us. Midas Touch Network, youtube.com/@MidasTouch. TYT Network, youtube.com/@TheYoungTurks. Sand in the gears. Become ungovernable. As individuals, we can take actions in a number of ways. However, doing anything other than peaceful protest at this point invites the fascist criminals to bring violence under martial law and excuse it as restoring order. We have seen Emperor Felonius respond violently to peaceful protests in the past. If you are new to resistance, educate yourself. The #1 downloaded book on Project Gutenberg is the Simple Sabotage Field Manual from Office of Strategic Services. Not saying you should download this book, read it, or use any of the information in it, but knowledge is power. Peaceful protest is a foundational principle of our democratic republic. Honestly, we don't use it often enough. Now, prepare. Prepare to be in the streets when the calls go out. These calls will come. Tips for preparedness, peaceful protesting, and safety. Human Rights Campaign has a page on their website dedicated to this at hrc.org/resources/tips-for-preparedness-peaceful-protesting-and-safety. You can find that link on my website if you don't want to type it in. The unions and civic groups will be organizing and preparing for peaceful protest. Our strength to resist this is in our numbers. We are many, they are few. The calls will come. The protests are already happening across the country. Know your rights. ACLU.org. When the calls come, be on the streets if you can. State capitol rallies, local rallies, general strikes, etc. If you can't be on the streets, amplifying and spreading the message and news on socials raises our collective voice as one. Agitate, educate, liberate. Do not make martyrs of the fascist. Be wary. These calls to the streets will come mixed with calls for violence, to tear it down, to use Second Amendment solutions. Do not heed these calls. Think about who owns the algorithms. These calls for violence may be bots, spies, or infiltrators. There are those who are many who believe that violence may be necessary in the end. And historically speaking, this may be correct. But we are at a most critical point in our history. The elders among us have grown jaded and failed to teach the lessons of the past. The youth have had the world handed to them in the form of distraction and consumerism. Most are not ready for the resistance that must come, and most are definitely not ready for the violence that this criminal regime can rain down upon us. Prepare. Social media is a two-edged sword, but pain is a great teacher, and many are suffering now. There are many who have left the fascist algorithms, and rightly so for them. Some say that the algorithm is just for training AI and stealing content. And this is true. But is it an opportunity to train the AI? #TruthWarrior. However, sometimes the battle has to be on their turf. There are people waking up from the distractions now that the pain is coming, and unfortunately, they come back to socials for distraction or to seek answers. For better social media, check out Blue Sky. You can give me a follow at ravenlaughin.bsky.social. There are brothers and sisters out there waging this battle for hearts and minds. If you're on their algorithms, mock the fascist. Uplift our brothers and sisters in the trenches and share their stories. Share love, support, and good information. Be witness to and document the crimes of the fascist. Agitate, educate, liberate. Some just want to troll. Watch the trolls, but ignore them. They are complicit bootlickers of the fascist. In the moment, the deck is stacked. This descent into fascism has been long going. We handed them the keys in November. Now, we must buy time for the legal processes to work and apply our collective economic leverage to eject the fascist billionaires. They don't have to go to Mars, but they can't stay here. Have grace. For the elders, be patient with the youth. Teach them. Be open to new ideas. For the youth, we need your energy, your passion, but be open to the experience of those who have gone before. We have an opportunity to build a more perfect union. We will need to have a large national conversation in the future. Today, in this moment, there is no greater threat to our way of life than the fascist Elon Musk and Donald J. Trump. Muster courage to endure the storm that is upon us. The world is watching in horror. They support us, but they can only do what they must to protect their people. The bottom line, now we raise our voices, we stand united, now we prepare. I know, not soothing. Stand up, raise your voice, get informed, take action. Together, we pressure this pile of turds down the drain of history. Agitate, educate, liberate, resist, resistance, fuck fascism. If you're able and want to support my content, the best way is to visit the shop, heathenplanet.com/shop, or visit my small business rock shop and by purchasing Freedom Agate, Rosebud Agate from New Mexico, rosebudagate.com/store. Thanks for listening or reading. Have a great day.